So I want to welcome you guys back to my channel. This is a very highly requested video. I am here with my Soft Glam Makeup tutorial, so stay tuned for the look. So make sure your face is hydrated. You want to put your moisturizer on. If you use primer, personally I don't, as well as a lip balm, so everything can be applied flawlessly and as well as you're taking care of your skin. So first, I start with brows. I like to use a brow pencil. This one is a nice one. This is the Fenty Beauty. And I just kind of brush my brows up. When I don't have my brows done, they get really long and crazy. Right now they're done though. I'm not saying they're not done. Right now they're done. I brush them into place. And then I just take this pencil. I like to use a soft brown. You know what? Someone's trying to play me. My pencil is about to run out, so I can use a different one after it does. And I just do hair-like strokes. And keep in mind your brows are sisters, not twins, but the goal of filling them in is to try to get them as identical as possible. They'll never be fully identical, but that is the goal. Also, if you are filling in your brows and you just put lotion on, make sure you wipe your brows down a little bit, or at least wipe off the moisturizer, because it'll slip and slide. It might not stick to it and it might look crazy. So that's another tip before starting. I'm actually gonna clip my hair out of my face for a second because it makes it easier. Now for the brows, I like to go in and conceal. It creates a really good underbrow highlight, as well as if your eyebrows are grown out, it's perfect. It disguises every little hair that you may need to pluck or not want to pluck. I just go. And this is the Laura Mercier concealer. I like to use a cream concealer for doing underneath my brows. This creates a good base for eyeshadow, under eye highlight, cleans up your brows, makes them look sharp at all times. And I blend it out with my finger because it's the easiest. And my secret to keeping it looking as natural as possible is blend as much as possible. You don't want any sharp lines on your face. A lot of people go in with their brow gel after. Personally, I do it maybe a couple times, but with this one, this is by Benefit 24-hour brow setter. It's a must-have because I'm telling you, my brows do not move once I put this on. And when my brows are grown out, they get curly and stuff, so this is perfect. Since my face has already been moisturized, now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I use this NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. I love it because I don't like foundation that's too wet looking, and I don't like it to be too thick. I'm gonna just use my beauty blender, put some foundation on my hand. Always make sure you wipe off your hand before you leave though, because sometimes you forget and you can't have makeup all over your hand. I love this foundation because it's really buildable. I like to just use one layer, but for those of you who want more coverage, you can add multiple layers. It's thin enough for it to look natural though. What was your guys' first foundation that you ever used? Because for me, my first foundation I ever used was from a drugstore. It was the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. And I didn't know you had to color match yourself. So I was walking around with a bright orange face, not wanting people to know, especially my brothers and my dad, that I wore makeup. And everyone was like, Jordyn, you look so tan. I was like, oh yeah, thanks, I've been in the sun. So I learned very quickly that foundation needs to be matched correctly, and it was all bad, but I'm curious what your guys' first foundation was. Or if not, what are you curious to try? I actually like to go down a little bit to make sure my face color matches my neck. And depending on what you're wearing, you always want to make sure that everything matches. During the winter, my skin tone gets very, very pale. So I always like to go up a shade in foundation just to add some liveliness to myself, make me feel better. Now I go in with concealer. I use multiple different concealers, different shades, because I like to use my concealer as a highlight, not more so to cover up anything, but I just actually tried this new Urban Decay concealer. I actually like it, and it's called Naked Concealer, which was super appealing to me. Not because I like being naked, but because when I think of naked, I think of something that's more natural. I'm just gonna actually blend this out. I use this part. This is a Morphe beauty blender, by the way. I'm telling you, blending is the secret to a natural look. You can have 500 steps, you can put on 500 layers, but as long as you blend it, no one is going to know how much makeup you're truly wearing. And then I have this Makeup Forever. I love this concealer too. This is my highlighting concealer, just to have that extra bright look so people don't know how much you didn't sleep. So most of the time when you see me like doing anything or doing any event, I'm doing my own makeup. I know my face, so I like the way I do my makeup better than a lot of people, and I'd rather do my own makeup and be happy with it than have someone do my makeup and not even want to leave the house. Okay, so now that that's concealed, I'm gonna just go ahead and put a little bit on the bridge of my nose, a little on my chin. I kind of use the same stuff to blend all around my face. Okay, so when it comes to powder, I don't use too much powder, but I definitely set my under eyes. So I take my powder, my translucent powder, and I just pat it into my under eyes. If I want an extra bright look, I'll use yellow powder mixed with translucent. Right now I'm only putting translucent powder on. I'm not a big powder person because I like the dewy look of skin, but the thing about powder is no matter how much you put on, if you spray your face down after, you can kind of get that look back. My smile lines are the worst. I'm always laughing, maybe that's why, but they crease within seconds. I love this translucent powder because it's kind of good for all over the face and it doesn't really have flashback. I don't recommend it for everyone. Translucent powder is kind of like what works for you works. Laura Mercier is a classic. This one is Hourglass. I'm gonna add just a little bit of yellow underneath my under eyes. Like I'm baking, but I'm not putting too much powder. I'm just kind of pressing it into my skin, and that helps it look more natural to me than letting a lot of powder sit. My bake is, this is how I do my soft glam. So if you want that extra snatch look, I take my powder and I go along my ear down to my mouth, and kind of helps create the shadow for your cheekbone for you. It is bronzer time. I love bronzer. It's one of my favorite things because I feel like it just adds so much liveliness. I've got powder all over my shirt. You guys can't even see it though. I use the Fenty Beauty one. I actually use 2 shades. This is the shade closer to my skin color, which is Island Tang. And bronzer is supposed to go in a 3. So hit your forehead. Maybe I hit it a bit too much. It's all good. You want to go on your jawline. We love looking snatched, you know? But I do believe that makeup is supposed to enhance your features, not alter them. We're enhancing what we already got. Now for the nose, I like to do really soft nose contour. I don't like to do too much. So I go in with the lighter color, just hit it a little bit. Then I have a little bit darker of a color. This is Cocoa Naughty. I would say I'm bronzed enough. Say I'm contoured enough. Okay, so for eyes, because I'm doing a soft glam, I'm not gonna do too much. I don't really do too much eyeshadow. I love to use multiple products, or the same product for multiple purposes. I'm gonna take my same bronzer, take an eyeshadow brush, which is the same brush I use for my nose contour, and just kind of go in my crease, warm it up a bit. So a lot of you loved my makeup for the Red Table Talk, which I actually did myself, and this tutorial is very, very similar to that look. There's a few different things that I did that day, which I didn't have lash extensions, so I'll show you what lashes I actually used. I also love the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia. I love brown tones, so anything with brown tones. I normally use something like similar to my bronzer too. Add a little bit more in my crease. Ooh, I just hit the wrong color. And for the most part, I'm just gonna keep it matte. When I'm doing a soft glam, I don't like to use too much shadow or anything too crazy. I like just using kind of the bronze look in my crease. I also do like to bring that a little bit slightly underneath my eye. So I'm just brushing over everything, making sure all the powder is kind of dusted off now. I would like to now add some blush. Okay, so I'm gonna use this brush. I normally like to use something a little bit more fluffy, but I just washed all my brushes and they're kind of wet still, so I'm using new ones. Now smile. I like to put blush on the apples of my cheeks. Everyone has a different face shape, so figure out what works for you, but a smile. I used to hate blush. I thought it was terrible because growing up, my cheeks were always bright red. Especially after gym class, it was like my face is red the whole day. If we had the mile that day, oh no. Like, oh, you must have just had PE. I'm like, yep, the whole day. So I hated blush, but now I love it. I feel like it adds a nice youthful glow. Makes you look nice and healthy. It's crazy how you used to hate things and then when you get older, you end up liking it, kind of like coffee, wine. But my dad, he's like, Jordyn, you want to try this? Like, just as a joke, like, just because he knew I would hate it. So when I was younger, my dad was like, here, you can try a sip of wine. I was like, you guys are disgusting. I don't know why adults drink this. And then you grow up and you're like, I actually have a favorite. I know my favorite. What's your guys' favorite wine if you're of age? I love a good red wine. I know it's strong, but I drink white wine sometimes, depending on what my vibe is, but I personally like a red. So now that I am all blushed, I look like I'm blushing a little bit, I wanna add some highlighter. Highlighter is also one of my favorites because it just makes me feel like I'm glowing. So at first, I take my little mini brush and my inner corner highlight is something I cannot live without. No makeup look is complete to me without my inner corner highlight. I feel like it just opens my eyes up. So guys, I didn't realize, but I put blush on my nose because I got carried away. And sometimes a little bit on your nose is okay, but you do not want to look like Rudolph. So I'm blending my nose away. I think that's better. It looks a little bit more red in the camera, but in person, it does not. Trial and error, guys, trial and error. I'm not a makeup artist, so what I do may not work for you, but it works for me, and I'm hoping that if you could take away anything from this video, it'll help you. You might hate blush, you might hate inner corner highlight, but I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. So now that my inner corner is highlighted, I add a highlight under my brow. I like using the same thing for multiple different ways. I think it's also for someone who's always on the go, being able to pack less and have multiple ways to use things is very essential, because then I don't have to travel with too much. Use my finger, add a little bit. I love my nose highlight to be a little bit more exaggerated because it just looks cute, gives you a little button nose effect. Okay, so I'm going to also now take the same highlighter, add it to my cheekbones. For my skin tone, I love using a more golden kind of champagne color, not anything that's too yellow. I don't like highlighters that are yellow. For a soft glam look, you want to use something that's kind of more soft. So nothing too harsh. I like a nice soft gold champagne. Okay, so if I were to put on lashes like I did with the Red Table Talk look, I wore my lashes. These are LA Baby. And the reason I love my lashes is because I made them to look like my lash extensions, and they actually got an award for the best lash for sensitive eyes, which is amazing for me because I feel like on the market, there's not a lot of lashes that are for the working person or someone that wants to be natural, more natural, or someone who wants to try lashes for the first time. Like my little sister tried lashes for the first time. I was more comfortable with her trying these and trying something extra dramatic. So these are my Eyeliner lashes. These are what I normally wear when I don't have lash extensions, but right now having lash extensions just with my busy schedule cuts out a lot of time of me putting on a lash. But I highly recommend these if you want something perfect for a soft glam. They are very deceiving because in the package they look a lot more thin, but when you put them on, they are popping. Now is when I put on a lash, but my lashes are already done. So we're in the finishing touches part. Before I put on any mascara or anything else, eyes or anything that can run, I spray my face and set my makeup because I don't want to spray it after. I don't want it to leak down or anything. So I really like the way this one smells because it's kind of like eucalyptus fresh. It's not a fruity smell or anything. So this one, you let me know what you think of the smell if you try it, but I add this. It's just refreshing to me. And then I go in with a different, more focused on setting spray because this is a high performance setting spray. So I let that dry for a second. And then if you want a softer look that is not as dramatic, I love a brown eyeliner. This one is BH Cosmetics. And I like to add eyeliner just in the corner. And my face doing anything eye related is just tragic. So please do not screenshot me and make a meme out of it. If you do have lashes, kind of just brush them. I'll add a little bit to my outer corner. I love the appearance of a cat eye. It adds a little sex appeal to your eye to me. Not that you're trying to be sexy, but it just really enhances my eye shape. I like a bronze inner eye waterline eyeliner. It is way softer than using black. Now I just add a little bit of mascara to my bottom lashes, but I don't really have bottom lashes too much, to be honest. So that's what that eyeliner helps with as well. Also, pro tip, if you happen to get mascara on your face, always make sure it dries first before you attempt taking it off. So then you can just flake it off. It flakes right off rather than smearing it all over your face and having to redo it. So I am going to top it off by finishing with my lip. I don't wipe off the foundation on my lips. I didn't go over my lips too much with foundation, but I like that it kind of creates it flows. So if I wipe it off, I don't want to accidentally wipe off my foundation or anything around. Also, another tip, start with a sharp lip liner because the sharper it is, the easier it is for you to get a precise line. I'm not too big on overlining, but I definitely do overline a little bit. I like to overline my Cupid's bow a little bit. Now, if you add a line kind of in the middle of your lip, it also creates a more full effect. Just go around a little. And now it's your choice what to fill it in with. I personally love a gloss. Gloss is always my go-to, so I'm going to put on a gloss. I have a gloss with Too Faced that I love. For some reason, I just moved and I can't find it. I should have a whole stash, but I don't because I have used them. But there's this Too Faced lip injection, which I like to put on a little bit underneath. It has no color, but it just makes my lips feel tingly. Some people hate that feeling. Some people like it. Personally, I like it. This is also supposed to make them more full, which I personally think it works. I like it. And then I love just a simple, this is Sephora gloss. I also love the ombre lip look. Doesn't have to be too dramatic, but I always layer on a lip. Perfect. This is the completed Soft Glam look. It's very simple. For those of you who want to beat face but don't want it to look like too much, this is perfect for you. If you guys recreate this look, make sure you tag me in all of the looks I really want to see, as well as turn on those post notifications because I'm coming to you with more videos. Like, comment, and subscribe. The subscribe is down below, and kill it.